You know you've made it to the most important place you need to be this evening. All the way back. That's how you know you've made it.
And we're live.
Oh, man. Good evening, Waybackers. I am Adam. You have landed on the Wayback Sessions. Yes, thanks for joining us here on the season finale. If you are new to the show, well, welcome. And hey, if you've been around with us for the past few years, well, welcome too. You guys know the drill. There is a donation link in the descriptions of this video if you are so inclined to support live music, tonight's band, and the Wayback Sessions. However, what we do ask is if you are enjoying yourself, please consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and telling all of your friends about it. Now, you guys know that we will be checking in with Studio B tonight, so if you have any comments, questions, concerns, etc., you want to make fun of the band, not me, maybe Studio B, you never know, go ahead and pipe them in, and we'll, address those in a little while. What else do we have to get to? Audience, why don't you pipe in? Should we play the Find the Bob Ross action figure in the studio game tonight? Because he's back there, and... yeah, the bands can play too if they want, but it is, I will give you guys a hint. It is not, it is, yes, it is back there somewhere. Find the Bob Ross action figure. Waybackers, pipe in. We can get to that a bit later and see what's going on. Let's see. You know what? The Wayback Foundation, thank you all very much for a very successful year. I do want to bring up the Green Canoe Foundation. They had that $5,000 matching, which happened last week, all because of you guys making this work out, contributing and being a part of this, amazing experiment and show, being able to showcase so many different styles of live music. Now, for tonight's main event, I would like to introduce Hieroglyph. Good evening, guys.
Hey there, what's up, Adam? Hello. How's it going?
It's going good, man. It's going good. It's so nice to have you guys in here. Let's just give everybody an idea of who is in here. Waybackers, we have on our left, their right, our left, we have Ryan on guitar. Welcome.
Hello.
We have Noah on bass, killing it. And we've got Sean in here on drums. Good to see you, man. I figured... How are you guys feeling? How's it sounding? How are you feeling there?
Good.
I mean,
good.
It seemed like you guys had that last 20 minutes hooked up.
Yeah, we were feeling that one.
So I want to get in right away. And it's personal, but not personal. We'll get to the personal nonsense later. But we're no stranger to instrumental music in this room. We've had plenty of it, and we enjoy it quite a bit. I look at instrumental music and I say, well, you go back to, the dawn of time, I suppose, with making, sound on our own, but, with the orchestra and the symphony, and it's a long-standing tradition of instrumental music. My question for you, gentlemen, because I'm pretty confident you didn't start your musical career playing like this or this type of music, I would like somebody or all of you to address what is your biggest motivation in the pursuit of instrumental music the way you guys approach it? Yeah, somebody step up.
Mostly because I can't sing, so
I can't either.
we had to figure out a workaround, and we just had to get good at improvising. No, I think what happened was, so Ryan and I have actually been playing for about a decade now, and we started out with more of the psychedelic, Cream, Hendrix, all that stuff, and it was, when was it you went out to Austin, Ryan?
2015 to 2016.
Oh,
yeah. So Ryan went out to Austin, and he played actually in a free jazz outfit out in Austin. And I don't know if you want to go into a little bit about that, but basically once he got back, then it was all about instrumental, improvisation, extended song form. So I don't know if you want to talk a bit about...
Absolutely, Ryan, because, I want to get into the early roots of where you guys came from a bit later, but I didn't know this. So that was kind of that big shift in what happened, huh?
Yeah, it was a big shift. I mean, like Noah was saying, we started pretty much rooted in 60s, 70s blues rock, and then I ended up moving to Austin, and I ended up getting together with a couple guys, a bassist and a drummer, and we all three sort of had interests in more free jazz type of stuff, and all we do was just improvise. We never wrote anything, and we actually played a couple gigs where we just went up and didn't even know what we were going to do. And
so in that case, is somebody calling out a key?
No.
At least not even.
No one's calling out anything.
Nothing, just start.
Yeah.
So there's that free jazz
They took
side
a vow of
the
silence,
improv.
actually.
Man.
Yeah, it was exciting but terrifying. same thing.
It's got to be. So, I mean, there's really only one way to do that is just to cut your teeth, is just to jump in and go for it.
Yeah, I mean, we all had good chemistry, similar tastes, and that's what made it work ultimately. Is we all just had good chemistry together, and yeah, it was really cool.
I personally think that the chemistry of a band and a working creative collaborative unit is one of the most critical components to making it good. You can get away with murder if everybody's on the same page.
Yeah.
So look, here's what I do know about tonight is there's about eight more hours of music coming. So I'm going to say, you have more music. I'm not even going to joke about that. I'm going to hand the show back over to you gentlemen. Why don't you, melt our faces for a little while longer, and I'll see you guys in a bit.
Sounds great, Adam. And actually fitting, we were just talking about free improv because this next tune is going to feature some of that. This is Tigris and Euphrates, so take it away, Ryan.
Really? Did that just happen like that? That's how all that works. How are you guys doing now?
All right.
I think we're warmed up.
Man, we've got a lot to talk about. We're going to be checking in with Studio B here in a little bit because I want to find out what's going on in Chit Chat Land, and they outlawed me from reading the comments a while back for, jokester reasons. The other thing that, oh, wow, these lights are all flashing in your eyes. Let's literally see, we'll chill out for a minute. The other thing that I realized was after I announced the Bob Ross game and I started looking, I went to go give the audience a hint, and I have no idea where it's at. Apparently, before we came in and went live, Studio B entered Studio A, moved it, and the joke's on me because
Those tricksters.
Yeah, unless one of you guys took it, found it, took it, and are taking it home, then
It's in the bass drum. It's in there.
Nope, that's
That's
not
what you
where
hear
it is.
screaming every time Sean kicks. You hear that sound? Bob Ross. That's Bob Ross.
Jeez. Okay. Studio B, I just got knocked off.
Yep.
Studio B, are you there?
Hi.
Hey, good to hear from you.
Good to hear from you guys.
How's it going
too.
tonight?
It's going good.
Yeah, do you have anything to report from Chit Chat Land?
I do. Everybody is really enjoying the sound.
How do they think it sounds?
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Way to go, Jake, on mixing the sound. Studio B must be losing their minds, says Jim King. Sounding fantastic. Eamon Levitt. I'm so terrible with names.
Just what did they say?
What they said, the music sounds great. Kevin Malloy sounds good, fellows. Doreen Garcia. This is next one. Sound. Yeah. So they are loving it. What was it? There was Kathleen Malloy here from Boca Raton. I'm assuming.
Yeah, no, they're all over. I might have snuck a look at the comments. I might have had an idea.
Let's see.
Where's Bob Ross?
Where is Bob Ross?
I'm a little bit ticked at you guys, you and Jake. Whatever. We'll find him. We'll find him.
Gary Drumanese, I can barely play straight time, yet alone move around like that. Great sound and
love
playing.
you, Gary. Not quite the truth. You're quite a great drummer, but yeah, no, Sean's something else, huh?
Amazing.
Speaking of Studio B, anything else?
Let's see.
At the moment?
Yeah. There was what was it? Tizzlebot. I'm a super fan, and I was just wondering who's the leader of the band.
Now that's a great question I wasn't going to ask. Who is somebody? Somebody grab the mic. Nope, nobody. I'm going to say the answer is 0. Nobody.
No one's a leader.
Or, I mean, nobody else is saying anything, so that's my guess.
I wouldn't say there's a specific leader. I mean, Ryan and I have been playing together for so long that it's, become symbiotic at this point. And it's like we were talking about with chemistry earlier. I mean, we'd played with, dozens of drummers over the years. And really, it wasn't until we met Sean that we had a drummer that we felt we had, real sincere chemistry with. And, ever since, I mean, it's been nonstop, practicing and gigging.
And not to mention the skill and the technique. I mean, Sean's quite the technician behind the kit, and there's tons of great drummers doing tons of great different things. Drummers.
Got it.
But not like, can I, you know what? Hey, Studio B, can you give me some of Sean's? Yeah, can you bring Sean's mic up in my mix, please? Because I wanted to go to Sean next, and I'll work through it without. But Sean, you look, is he live? Can people hear him? Can everybody hear him but me?
No. No drumming mic.
It's not working. This is not. Would you unplug and replug it real quick? I mean, like, we are totally. This is live. This is real, people. Whatever.
Jim King says, "Isn't Bob Ross just everywhere with all of us all the time?"
Bob Ross is everywhere with all of us all the time.
Nope. No drummer mic.
Yeah, there you
there
go.
you go.
That looks great. I really love it because Sean, you look familiar, dude. Have we met before?
I think we have.
Okay.
And there was that one time I came in here with a band called Plank.
Right. That would have been it.
Yeah.
I think Steve's watching tonight.
Hi, Steve.
I don't know if Austin and I don't know, but I know Steve's there. So, well, welcome back in, man. It's so nice to have you back
Yes, thank you again for having me back. This is awesome. I love doing
in.
this.
Yeah, no, it is
Amazing.
completely great to have you guys in here.
And by the way, Noah's killing it with the looks. Let's see. We've got incredible bass playing, but they're also loving, what was it? Steve Cunningham. Noah defending the title of best dressed guy in Phoenix and making the case for best dressed guy on the internet.
That's only because Steve comes in like looking, out there.
What is the flower,
Thank you, Steve.
flower on your lapel?
It's some sort of African flower. My girlfriend got me a bouquet of them, and I found out they dried out just really nicely. And so I had this orange shirt, orange flower. I thought, they had to
It's
be
snazzy.
paired up. And
Very
what
nice.
better night for it than this?
What better night? I'm glad that you paired it up and brought it in here tonight. Studio B, we good for a second?
Yeah, Sean and
Maybe not.
Rabidrat said the outfits are great. So we've got some new people on. Thank you, everyone.
And that's, thank you for being with us. And that's something that I talk about all the time, is that extra step put into the look and the way that you present yourself on stage. Just kind of going through the motions and saying, hey, audience, we are trying to turn over every stone and pay attention to what we're doing with every detail. So I love it. I appreciate it.
Thanks,
There
Adam.
you go. So you guys, there's a bunch of different weird thoughts that I had before you guys came in, and now really, unfortunately, I haven't seen you live. I've only been able to listen to the recordings, which are fantastic. Waybackers, they're all out there. Go and find it. Where is it? On all your favorite streaming platforms, right?
None of your favorite streaming platforms.
None.
Unfortunately, we've got some live sessions on YouTube, and we've posted a ton of clips on Instagram. But we haven't gotten into the studio yet.
I'm totally offended.
and,
YouTube is my favorite social platform, bro.
YouTube is a fantastic. I guess I see the streaming platforms as the Spotify's of the world.
No, I'm messing with you. I get it. So go ahead.
We've been talking about getting in the studio within the next couple months because we have enough material for an LP, which is just 5 tunes for us. Most of what we're playing tonight, would be what we'd head in there with and, cut that. And we've been thinking even in the next couple months. So, stay tuned. But we're definitely feeling ready for it. Last month, we played Side Pony. We played a handful of other shows, and coming off that, we're feeling like
You played like 8 sets last month.
We played 8 sets
I think.
Yeah.
That's serious. That's
Yeah.
serious. Speaking of, I know that James Taylor from Chrome Rhino, I had sent something he was watching, and he's like, I got to catch those guys at Side Pony. So, yeah, he made sure to be here tonight as well. You guys, if anybody, for those of you that watch the show, you know that I hate putting any labels on people and trying to identify because I think it's kind of ridiculous. But I always like the band to try and do it because it's even sometimes more ridiculous. But looking at it, like, I don't know what you guys really do. I want to call it. I want to call you guys a jam band, which I don't even know if we have time to get into what I really mean by that. But I know that it's not a traditional setup whatsoever. There's a lot more jazz coming into it than what a traditional jam setup might be. What is driving you guys to get, what brought you to the point you are at today? Because I know it didn't start here, and we touched on the classic rock background and influence. But I mean, this is a massive departure, but kind of not from that. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, I'll let Ryan tackle this one a bit as well. But even back in the day when we were doing the just pure psychedelic stuff, I mean, really our idol was Cream, and Power Trio, same instrumentation still to this day, and they'd go on extended improvisations, and now admittedly they were sticking within the blues idiom. They weren't throwing in they weren't throwing in that much that was outside that realm, but they were extended improvisations, and I think. The first time Ryan and I jammed, he put on his LP of Wheels of Fire, right?
Yeah.
And we jammed to the Spoonful the whole way through. And so, from the first time he and I set foot in the same room, it was long form improv. And so that's kind of been the thread, whether it started with the psychedelic blues for a while, we're all big Deadheads here. So, we're in that sound for a little bit, and then after the Full Fathom in Austin, it became more.
I could see that was really, really a big deal. That flipped the switch, so to speak. But with all of that said, the Cream thing, it's not super prevalent in the tone and sound that you're delivering right now, but it is prevalent in your attitude. I pick that up from you, in particular. Lots of Jack Bruce type of attitude.
Sure, yeah.
In that when you drop into those jams like that, that's very similar to what they're doing, but so much of a jazz background. I mean, you have Ginger Baker on the drums, you're going to just start there. Kind of going to start there and take it.
Blocky Bryson is
hi,
asking, hi, who writes the songs?
I guess I'll tackle that one. So it's mostly original material that I come up with in sort of a just rough form, and then in the past, some of this material dates back to 2017, so not all of it has necessarily been developed with Sean in the band. We have written a new tune with Sean. It's actually the last tune we'll be playing tonight, but typically I would sketch some stuff, bring it to Ryan. He would embellish those parts. Some of it was more written out and structured. And then the opening to Jacob's Ladder, which it's that fast part, it switches between bars of 11 and 12. That was something that Ryan wrote, I think, in his FedEx truck.
No, it was in the car.
It was in the car. So, I think we need to expand a bit on this because a lot of people watching may not be musicians. And when you talk about writing a song, it's different than the way you guys are treating the song, the end-all treatment. And by that, I mean, there is so much improvisation going on in here. Can you explain a bit about your, developing this song, getting the theme, you've got the head, then you guys are tripping out for a while and bringing it back, right? If you could explain that a little bit more elegantly the way you guys are approaching it, I think people might appreciate hearing that.
Yeah, I mean, for example, if I could illustrate something,
by all means,
like in the one of the first tunes we played, there's the bass part I brought to Ryan would be like a, and then I showed that to Ryan, and after a few minutes he came in with the. So the idea was there, but it wasn't until he took it and ran with it. So now that he's got that riff. And then it starts in F sharp minor, and then it goes to B, and then basically that just becomes the format for the solo. That's drawing from that jazz idiom where you set a form. I think where we deviate a little bit is that's where I consider sort of avant-garde jazz to be an influence, because Cherubim, for example, the tune we just did, we played the head, but then after that, it really wasn't following. I mean, we started around D Lydian, but I mean, it quickly departs, and there's not really any, set form for that one. And that was there's an incredible record by Dave Holland called Conference of the Birds, and there's a tune, and the opener is called Four Winds, and I mean, it's cherubim if you took it up, if you like, that was me hearing that and like,
Going,
what can I
do something
even
like
approach like that? And that's a strange one, because I actually wrote that melody in my head. I was on a hike, and I just kept hearing this melody, and so I throughout the entire hike, I formed it in my head, and then I hummed it into my phone, and I got home, and I sat there with my bass for however long it took until I had figured it out, and it changed in that process.
Yeah.
But, some of it arrives fully formed, some of it's painstaking, what note should go, what, here. And I mean, it varies from tune to tune. Some come full form, some are real, real difficult to
Yeah, I mean, we hear the story every week. It's all of the above. It's everybody's involved or nobody's involved, and it happened over, in 30 minutes in a car, and then it happened over 3 months and not a car. I mean, there's so many ways that this goes about. I just love talking about all of it.
Because, I mean, that piece I was mentioning earlier, Exodus that Ryan wrote, he shows up, it's fully formed, and, he throws it at our drummer at the time. His name was Andrew. He throws it at us, and we had a game where every time we screwed it up, we had to take a sip of wine, and eventually we were nicely buzzed, and we had figured the song out. So that was a successful experiment there.
I want to hit on one more thing. I think that you guys are pretty amazing conceptual world builders, and by that I talk about the name of the band Hieroglyph. I talk about the different names of the songs, which I mean we started with. We might as well tell people because we haven't gotten to that. There was Invocation into Jacob's Ladder. We went to Tigris Euphrates into Cherubim.
Yep.
And we're not going to tell them what's coming. But if you take all of that into account, and you take away that there are no vocals delivering a deliberate story to somebody, I know that what's happening here is highly influenced by all of that. So are you guys building these backstories to a lot of this that builds into the world building that is Hieroglyph, that impresses, makes an impression on the way you approach this song? Did that make sense? I'm trying to say something, but do you get it?
Yeah, it creates an image.
Yeah. And do you feel that you are able to fulfill that image by the way you're, sonically?
Or imagery. I don't know. Usually we don't really come up with the names first. We come up with the
piece, and then I mean it's interesting. So Jacob's Ladder, actually, we kind of, as an homage to those old like King Crimson tunes where it was like 21st. We would.
I love you guys.
We were just they would have these like these sub names, and they were doing that so they would get it would look like an album with 8 or 10 songs for the record label. But we decided with Jacob's Ladder because it's sort of our progressive rock piece. And actually, Ryan named a lot of those subsections. And I remember the part we were just playing in 5, you called that Salome. And I remember you told me it was because you saw you could picture like a woman dancing to that like part and the dress swaying, or I don't know. You had a whole kind of.
This is what I'm talking about, by the way. This is what I'm getting.
Yeah, I had an old book by. Who wrote Salome? Who was that?
Oscar Wilde.
Oscar Wilde, and had really great illustrations in it, really sort of disturbing. But I was looking at that, and I was thinking about the song, and I'm like, it's sort of a dance. It's a high tempo dance kind of thing.
Now, when you guys write those and then you perform them and you play them, do you feel that when you're playing it? Do you feel that story that you set in motion? Or does it just, it's a name and that's not really influencing it while you're playing? Because I'll write some stuff exactly that way, and because I'm not a lyricist and a singer, I treat my stuff very much like I just explained that I thought you guys were doing it. But then as I play, it continues to inform my style or approach. Oh, look at you way up in there.
Yeah.
Sorry, Sean. Holy crap.
So what I was gonna say is a lot of the times when we are playing these songs, I can close my eyes and I can conjure these images while I'm playing.
You know what, Noah? Would you hand him a mic?
Yeah,
I don't know if we're getting that. Yeah, can you just?
Over here.
Yeah, sorry about that. I don't know what.
So,
Hey, Sean.
So I can say that, just in rehearsal, playing these songs, I can close my eyes and I can conjure these images, like you said. And with the ebb and flow of the songs, it creates like this, almost like you can close your eyes and you feel like you're in that image. And it creates that, for me at least, playing the drums. And I try to match that sometimes when I am playing, and I get lost in it.
I see that happening with you so much. It's like the book is just reading itself. When you're working, going back to, like, let's pull this full circle. You bring it back to the chemistry we started talking about, earlier tonight. And I think that's such a big deal, because that's when you can start linking in with people and sitting and having that trust and bond to be able to fall against somebody and know that they're going to read it and hopefully interpret it in a similar manner. And if it's different, you still like it, then you're really good. Can we hear another song?
Yeah, this next tune is called "Watchful Spirit," and it's actually a good friend of ours who was a former drummer of ours, and he's actually subbed in a couple times at gigs, so he might be watching this. So, Michael, if you're watching this, we always love playing this tune. So this is called "Watchful Spirit."
Bam! Now that's a soundscape. I could see that doing a ton of different things. Where did that come from? Where did that first lick come up? Ryan, that you?
A lot of that, like Noah was saying, our friend Michael Slovan composed that along with a bunch of other great songs on an album he put out, and that was one we thought would fit our group. So
You stole it.
friendly theft.
Friendly, yes.
It was given.
It was given.
It was given.
It was granted.
Yeah. So Michael, we've played with Michael on and off over the years. He's a drummer. He plays clarinet. He plays all sorts of different instruments. He's an interesting guy, But
It's an
if only we could
understatement.
teleport him in here right now. He's
So-
sprout up from the
Probably
ground.
he's outside right now.
Should we check in with Studio B? Studio B, should we check in? Is there still stuff going on out there we need to be aware of?
You caught me off guard. Vibing.
So I'm gonna, you know what? Why don't you take a peek and let's see what's going on?
Okay.
Ryan, Noah, I heard a rumor that you guys, you've known each other for about a decade, but I heard a rumor you guys met on Craigslist.
Yeah, I put out an ad looking for a
In the personal
Friend.
section.
It's not that kind of show.
Look, I don't know if this will translate to any other people besides musicians, but wow, well done, guys. I've never heard a success story before.
No, I remember the ad very distinctly. It said, looking for college-age hippie rock musicians. And there I was like, okay, that ticks
Sure.
the boxes.
I can do
Especially at
this.
the time I had, well, not down to here. I had longer hair. Eventually it got down to there. But
No, it's look, we've all been through that on one level or another, and if you've spent any time failing there, it's it can be daunting to say the least. Well, congrats! I'm glad
Thank
you
you.
guys found each other. Are you from Arizona, Ryan?
I was born in Northern California, but I've
Okay.
been in Arizona since I was a kid.
Long
so
time.
Long time.
Yeah. Where can we see you guys next?
we're playing Last Exit live next month
Okay.
on the 14th. It hasn't been officially announced yet, so
Dude, world premiere, you just
World-
did it.
Yeah, don't hold me account, but we're playing there. There's rumors of a Rebel Lounge gig in
Okay.
January,
Okay.
so usually our Instagram page is the best place to keep up with us.
I'm glad you brought that
yeah.
up, everybody. Hieroglyphs band or music?
It's just Hieroglyph music.
Music.
It
There
should
it
be
is on Instagram, and
should be the only one. If you see me, Ryan or Sean on the page,
on there, then
you've
it's
arrived
yours.
at the right place.
It is yours. Yes.
Okay. I'm ready.
Oh, hi, Studio B. Yes.
Hello.
What's going on?
Becky King. I know this isn't about Adam, but Adam, how did you hear about these guys? It continually amazes me how much freaking music there is in the Valley, and so much I've not even heard of.
Okay, thank you. That's not my job to answer questions on this show, Becky. But for you, look, it's impossible to get out there and see everything. So we have some very trusted waybackers. When they will see something, experience something, see a live show, run into it, they will hit us up and say, hey, Adam, you need to start paying attention. You should pay attention to this if you're not familiar. And nobody, those people that are the big deals of pointing things out, they don't message all the time, hardly ever. So that when they bring up a name, that you start paying attention. And that's basically what happened here. As we've progressed over the past couple of years, getting our feet wet in all the different scenes from the local Tempe rock to the R&B hip hop to the jam scene, which I'm real partial to the symphonic scene to the jazz scene, and like it goes on and on and on. You just need people to help point that out, and that's how I found out about Hieroglyph. And yeah, it's very important because I love the jam thing. I was just really scared to open this door because I knew that I would just be hard to close it for myself. Okay, yeah.
Okay,
next.
so Capri Leben wants to know, how did you guys get into music?
Excellent question.
Who wants to tackle that one? Sean, you want to hold on?
Yeah.
let me,
Oh yeah, we gotta
Give
do
Sean
the
a
mic shuffle.
There we go. Okay.
Hey.
Hey. Good to hear your
How
voice.
did man, I can remember listening to Dick Biondi on the radio, listening to oldies, growing up in a family that music was very important. But I remember listening to oldies first and foremost, and like Beatles, and then like classic rock. And then I started in playing drums in grade school band, junior high band, and got really involved with that. And that's how I kind of took off. I remember, I forgot who I saw. I saw somebody playing the drum kit in that junior high band, and I was blown away. And I was like, "Oh man, I would really want to do that."
So let me follow that up with what kind of support did you have from your folks or
Oh,
family?
just amazing. They were so
to
supportive.
start drumming in junior high.
Oh yeah,
I know that
it takes
party.
a lot, yeah, because you have to hide in the basement and play as quiet as you can.
Right.
Yeah.
What about you guys, Ryan?
Oh yeah.
Noah? Yeah, either of you.
I'll let Ryan take it first as I adjust this mic.
Okay. Yeah, I grew up in a, I guess, musical household. No one played, but there was always music playing on the stereo. Like every home video we had, there's music playing in the background. Yeah, classic rock. And then, I don't know, I sort of had an interest in learning how to play that on a guitar. So I think it was Christmas 2000. I was just a little kid, and my parents got me my first electric guitar and got me lessons, and I learned how to play stuff like Blink-182 and just the stuff.
Still a
that's-
primary influence to this day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And while you're on the mic, they
There's-
wanted to know about your guitar.
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Well, you know what? Well done, Waybackers. I was going to follow it up with that because it might not be your first guitar. However, you built that guitar.
Yeah.
What?
So this is a kit. It's
You built it?
yeah. So I didn't.
I got you, man.
I assembled it, carved the headstock to make it look like a Gibson. I wanted an ES335, but they're rather pricey. So
Yeah.
I found this. It's a mahogany ES335 copy, the best one I could find, and I got lucky. It plays really well, and I put these pickups in, wired it all up. This
What
was
kind of
probably-
pickups?
That's the important part to me.
I only know that because of him.
They're Seymour Duncan
he is.
whole lot of humbuckers, which I think is just another way of saying Jimmy Page, but they couldn't say Jimmy Page, so they said whole. So they're really hot. They're wound extra thick like they used to do.
Yeah.
So it puts out a pretty hot signal. But yeah, I love it. I built this back in 2015 when I was in Austin.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Well, it sounds great. I
Thanks.
have not had the pleasure to pick it up, but yeah, no,
I'll let you.
I'm familiar with what you did, and I knew that when you fired up, that those were not the pickups that came with it.
no, I threw those away.
Oh, that's right. That's exactly the follow-up response I was expecting.
Yeah, I threw away a lot of the hardware. I mean,
yeah. And that's
I wanted the wood, the guitar.
Yeah.
'Cause that's
yeah,
important.
whole another conversation.
Yeah.
You?
So I have a sort of a strange story about how I got into music.
Imagine that.
I wasn't a musical child. I tried to play the cello, and I was horrible at it. And I didn't listen to music necessarily regularly the way a lot of people do until my senior year of high school. I had a marketing teacher who, and I'm not making this up. One day he crept up behind me in class, and he leans in. He's like Tommy the Cat.
Ooh.
And I'm like, what are you talking about? He's like, go home and Google Primus Tommy the Cat. And I think, why is this guy telling me this? So I go home and I Google Primus Tommy the Cat. I listen. If you've heard it, it's an incredible tune, And I went back and I said, give me some more stuff like that. And over the course of that semester, he would shoot me recommendations. He turned me on to Crimson, to Fish. He turned me on to a few other groups that I'm forgetting now. But basically, it was him who showed me all that, that stuff, whether it was jam, whether it was progressive rock, it was all that. And he even gave me his complete King Crimson CD discography, and I returned it to him, of course. But funny story, I'll just finish this up. Many years later, probably about 10 years, I was 27 probably, and so 10 years after I'd graduated, I went to see Pharoah Sanders, who's one of my favorite musicians, and there he was, my old marketing teacher, and I got to tell him. I don't think he really remembered who I was. He probably has a handful of students that happened with, maybe, because he's a musician himself. He's a bass player, so no surprise, And it was after that, it was finding, Jack Bruce was sort of what got me into bass, because I saw him and something about the way he moved, the way he handled the instrument. I said, I could probably do that, and I bought a bass and, never really looked back. So that's kind of how I came to it.
I'm glad that you didn't look back, and all of you fabulous musicians.
Capri wants to know, Noah, what about Guitar Hero influence?
Well, that won't be the first conversation like that we've had in here. I want to hear that.
I remember playing a lot of Guitar Hero, but I always liked the Rock Band with the drums.
Oh,
Because it felt more like it was the closest you could get to a real instrument in the game, like the guitar.
Right,
I mean,
yeah.
but
Click,
the drums,
click.
it felt like you were. I mean, it's not really, but So I preferred the drums on there, but I just never bought a drum kit or anything.
Well done.
Studio B, I don't
All
want to
good.
interrupt you again. So
No,
doing
you're-
great tonight.
Yeah.
I love it. Yeah. Anything else we need to address right now?
That's all, folks.
There's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Waybackers, you know how this goes. We've had a ridiculously awesome season. This has been a very high quality season. Thank you all for tuning in and for your support. Want to thank every last musician and band that has been in and out of here for giving their time, attention, commitment to being musicians, writing music, and sharing it not only with us, but with you guys. Everybody that has helped support the Wayback Foundation to move us into being able to bring you season 5 in the new year. I promise it is happening. We'll be releasing that. So now what I want to say, we're at this point, I think, one more tune,
One more tune.
but it's an 8-hour tune. The show is yours. I'll see you guys in a minute.
Thank you, everyone. This is the newest Hieroglyph tune. We just debuted this last month. It's called either Shiva or Shiva, depending on how you want to read that. And I'll take it away. Thank you, everyone.
You guys, Ryan, your face was priceless. He looked at me like, I don't know what I'm going to say right now. We'll talk about that after. Whew. You guys, so good. Really, really, really appreciate it. I'm so glad we were able to get you guys in. Absolutely. Waybackers, here's the deal. We are done with season 4. Thank you all very much. We will see you next year. Please stay subscribed and be notified. We will let you know when we fire the season up. As usual, we're going to throw the needle on the turntable. We're going to bring up the house lights, turn the cameras around, and, kick the cans out of the way. Back to our car as we talk about what an awesome evening it was. Waybackers, thank you again. Cheers from the way back.
Woo!
Thank you.
That's a wrap. Good job, guys.
Thank you.
Woo!
Ooh.
Last one to the bathroom.
Yeah. It's so quiet in here. So peaceful.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us, Adam. I appreciate it. That was awesome.
Yeah, I can hear you. I was watching. Cool.
Oh man, that was awesome.
So good.
How many people did we have to?
They've outlawed me from Yeah. I used to step over it. So yeah, people are still watching. If you want to talk, people really they'll sit there until the end. Just hang out. That's why we started dropping, putting on albums at the end of the show. And
That's cool.
I just always showcase the live records. Garrett Jones.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so this is Psychedelic.
Oh,
So
okay.
the Hazel album.
Yeah.
Then Garrett did all the homework.
Garrett played with us a number of times.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense because he was one of the people that brought you guys out.
He played a few sets with us. So, yeah. He's a. Yeah. I'm going hiking with him on Sunday.
Are you? Okay. Do you?
No. Why?
I think he piped it. I got a text from him, so I didn't know if he was tuning in and watching.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Sessions that.
Okay. Yeah. I sent out to some of my friends in other states, and they're watching. My friend Eamon, I think he's in New York. He sat in with us. I think Eamon was on there.
And hopefully, people will come back and they'll watch when they can't tune in live.
Yeah,
it's always one of those weird things. And we've fought so much of that because it's like, what happens live doesn't really translate to what happens. I mean, the days of Thursday night at 7 sitting and watching a TV show. I don't. But yeah, the community does have like watching you, like some of that, when you're swelling in, you're
A lot of flowers will lose their form.
are you just turning?
I didn't do anything
Are you
special.
just
I dried
you're
that way
not
into
running
the
your volume
so I just said, there we go.
You're not rolling it.
I just got it. This is just I need a new outfit.
Okay, so
New
I have to
show.
say,
I try and wear something different every
the
show.
only pedal I've ever
I
bought
think I've
multiple
succeeded
times
so far. I mean, we were playing every other day. It's a
Oh,
good one.
actually walk
You know, a couple times.
those are the
Yeah,
only
this is
things
just
I
I didn't use this because it keeps cutting it out. Like last night, so I mean, it's a mixture of just and it just you cut out. So I'm like,
should ask me to have gotten like this.
this is all it's all good.
I
It's all
would,
new
yeah.
stuff
But
actually.
no, just
Has that yeah, so I mean, it's one of my favorite parts. No, I mean, I'm dressed so. I mean, told us she was a costume designer. I mean, no, this, I mean, outfits I typically put together. She'd rather have my help than have it like every day. That's a good point.
It's a weird thing because you're leaving your windows open 100% and you're thinking volume after versus
No, I just we actually got into fashionable music because you watch the Beatles, you watch that one, they all look really cool. And we thought, why aren't groups really doing that for years? Because you get a lot of groups like ours, and we're like, we want to do something, we want to look like a rock and roll act. That was how he grew his hair out. Now we got it short. At the time, we had long myself. The whole. Oh really?
Like I don't even know how to like lay off. When you walk,
I much prefer that.
it doesn't matter.
Kind of feels like 22.
You know what I mean? Well, there's a rhythm guitar, there's keys, and all this shit.
Oh yeah, that's
It's not gonna destroy anything.
we're a three-legged table.
Oh yeah, no, any one of them is gone. For 17 years, my thing was Power Trio, so it was always
like the Power Trio. Like when I was in Texas, that was it. The full cast of it was the Power Trio. But avant-garde.
Now I like that, and for you to be able to attach to that and like let it shift you around, that's awesome. That's what it was.
Yep.
I think you know what? To be fair, I was watching Jack.
But
move
you
in
had
front of it.
him. He was like
Noah Jack.
this, and you went right through. There was like a couple of times.
Sometime during the show, I don't know.
Not during the yeah, sometime during the show. While you were playing, you got.
No, I did. I zoomed right up on Larry.
Yeah.
And I did a fake because I came off the mannequin onto Larry. I'm so worried about, like, I'm pulling focus, I'm trying to keep it there, I'm seeing what you're doing, and go, like, what are the lights doing, and can I hear it, and...
Once you turn around to win, like, we'll be able to watch it.
As soon as we click end live,
then
it'll be ready.
Once it processes. Oh.
Oh, hi, Shelby. Studio cat, she always makes an appearance. Did I get you anything? Would you like to? Good.
How long where Ryan slip on? Yeah,
Where are we at?
yeah.
Dude, there's still 30 people sitting hanging out.
That's so funny.
Just hanging out.
Like, do they hear anything or they just
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Be careful what you say.
No,
But
it's
not
just like
really.
the-
There's
just those two mics.
yeah, there's some mics hot in the room.
That's fine.
Oh, were you trying to trick us? Did you ever play phone?
No.
She showed us. She revealed.
I remember I thought it was over here that you guys. It was. I mean, that's where I put it, but I put it somewhere different every week.
Well, I saw you zoom in and I
Well, I sat there and I'm like, I think Ryan is stepping on it. I think he's stepping on it right now. And that's okay. Can I get you anything?
Oh, I'm good. I got some water outside. Came inside.
Yeah, I heard her saying
He said something like, I don't think I'll be able to catch it. And he's like, oh, wait.
Okay. Yeah.
yeah.
Right.
I think, yeah, I mean, they got it pretty good. I mean, they're really
We kind of, like I was saying, it's like,
I think you're right.
sorry, Sean. I totally interrupted you.
No,
Here's the
worries.
graphic novel.
No way.
So the album was written
There it goes.
I don't know. Does Miles visit at the
I do not know Miles' brother if he has one. I know all those guys pretty good. As a matter of fact, I didn't want to announce it, but we did try to get the entire facial ensemble.
I think really Alex got the sauce in Flagstead.
Yeah. I've seen that guy around.
I wouldn't know it from Miles.
Because yeah, his brother is in a band called Tiny Bird.
Oh, yeah, what's that? Yeah.
So Alec Tippett plays bass in that. So
Okay,
I don't
that's
know if
what
they're
Miles plays.
I don't know if they're related.
I'll ask him because I've talked about Tiny Bird with Miles.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Where are we? Should we go ahead and cut the camera? Might as well.
47 people still want to know what's going on.
I don't know why. Hi.
Oh, we're down to 25.
Oh. Oh, Shelby, yeah. She's like, Mom, getting snacks.
We'll be sticking on a parachute.
Waybackers, thank you again for a lovely season and year. We'll see you in the new year.